Hey guys, this is Merging Souls Astrology and Tarot, and tonight we're going to be talking about hot and heavy placements in astrology that tend to lean a little more into the dangerous side, so you might need to kind of watch out for these placements. So let's get straight into it. Number one is going to be Pluto square Mars. Look, if I saw this in a birth chart of somebody that I was interested in dating, it would be like my opportunity to get out now. It's gonna be like this mega attraction, and it's like this magnetic. It's almost like it could repel one of the individuals, especially I would think the Pluto individual, because this is going to create a situation where they feel like almost like a disgust probably from the Mars person, because the Mars person is going to be pushing them, driving them, right? That Mars energy is going to be pushing them to recognize these darker parts of themselves, and they're going to be seeing it in the Mars individual. It's either going to be extremely attractive or almost repulsive. So when it does become that extremely attractive part, this can lead to a relationship where they get into it and it starts, transforming, and then it spirals out of control into potentially domestic abuse. Okay, so this is something, it doesn't have to be that way. If both individuals are evolved and are capable of working with one another and within themselves, it can go fine. But that is a placement to look out for. It can be hot and heavy, but it can also be extremely toxic. Number two is going to be Mars square Venus. This is like the hottest aspect, right? This is like, I want to throw you up against the wall because you're so fine, okay? And again, it's a square. So this is like, oh, it looks good to begin with because that magnetic attraction of opposites attract, right? This is like sensuality of Venus, like this loving, caring being squared with somebody who is a little more aggressive, right? So that's why it's kind of hot. There's like a submissive person and like a dominator, right? But at the same time, this can be the same way where once you get into the relationship, constant fights, it doesn't work out, it doesn't work right, because that Venus person, even though it's in the bedroom, when it's not in the bedroom, the Venus person needs to be able to share the same way and be that person that they are, that's sensual and sweet and caring. And then the Mars person is a little more aggressive, so it just doesn't work a lot of times. So it may work at the start and then unfold into craziness. It's not like Pluto square Mars, where it can actually be dangerous for both individuals, quite frankly. But that's just one you want to look out for, okay? I've been in relationships with the Mars square Venus, and it never got anywhere really crazy, but yeah, there's that. So another one is going to be Mars conjunct ascendant. Now this is kind of an interesting one. This is like Mars is constantly chasing after the ascendant person. They're constantly like vying for their attention. Like, how can I get their attention in the most like extravagant way? And how can I like drive them to be attracted to me? Because the Mars person finds the ascendant person incredibly attractive, right? The ascendant person also feels that attraction towards the Mars person, but it's a little more driven from the Mars to the ascendant person, because the Mars individual feels the like drive to shape this kind of, encounter for some reason. This can also kind of make the Mars person change, even though it's on the ascendant of the other individual. This is like going to be shifting the Mars person's looks. Like, how can I do anything I can to get that ascendant person's attention? One that's even more interesting is the Pluto square ascendant. That's going to be number 4. Okay, we're going to talk about Pluto square ascendant now. This is not like Pluto square Mars, okay? This is like Pluto wants to transform the ascendant person's physical appearance. They might not be happy with the person's physical appearance, and the ascendant person might get really low confidence because of this Pluto person. Now, there's going to be a strong attraction because the Pluto person's going to see. The Pluto person oftentimes wants to be that dominator, right? They just are because it's Pluto, right? It's dominating. And when it sees the ascendant person, when it's in square with it, it's like, I can make this person be who I want them to be. I can run the power on this show. And so that is the vibe. It could be abusive towards the ascendant person. It doesn't work out for the Pluto person either, but that is kind of one to look out for. So all of those have the propensity to be really attractive, but at the same time, a tad bit dangerous.